Adjusting the minimum air rate entails synchronizing the throttle plate adjustment screw, closing the IAC valve, and readjusting the TPS. By properly adjusting the point at which the throttle plate screw touches the throttle lever, we can prevent all kinds of idle speed problems from happening. A minimum air rate adjustment should be performed any time the vehicle is stalling during a loaded idle condition, such as when the vehicle is idling in drive with the air conditioning on. The minimum air rate adjustment simply entails synchronizing the throttle plate screw, idle air control valve or IAC, and TPS to achieve the desired idle condition. This adjustment is actually divided into a few easy steps. But always make sure that the engine has attained full operating temperature before starting this procedure. Always be mindful that the correct application of this adjustment will determine the performance of the idle control system. Seen here, the minimum air rate adjustment is closely linked to the throttle plates and its adjustment. Notice the adjustment screw that controls the small opening of the throttle plates. By simply closing or plugging the idle control valve, adjusting the throttle screw for a minimum idle speed, and then readjusting the TPS, the desired idle condition can always be met by the engine computer. If the TPS is not adjustable, then simply verify the closed idle value to proper manufacturer's specifications after the minimum air rate adjustment is done. As explained before, the TPS is connected to the ACM by 3 wires. These are the ACM provided ground, the 5 volts reference, and the TPS signal line. The TPS ground and the 5 volts reference are provided and regulated by the computer. The TPS signal is a return line to the ACM indicating throttle opening and rate of change. The IAC, or idle air control valve, is another component involved during the minimum air rate adjustment. Seen here, at the upper part of the throttle body, this simple actuator controls the idle speed by letting a specific measured amount of air pass the throttle plates. Typical problem associated with the IAC are stalling conditions and idle control problems. The IAC pintle, or motor valve, controls the air past the throttle plates, and it may be connected to the ECM by 4 wires. There are different types of IAC motors, but the principle is the same, to simply let a measured amount of air pass the throttle plates. The IAC has to be completely closed during a minimum air rate adjustment. The first tool employed during a minimum air rate adjustment is the IAC actuator tool. If this tool is not at hand, simply use any means necessary to completely close the IAC air passage. A scan tool may also be used in place of the IAC actuator. This is a DRB3, which is Chrysler's scan tool. In our video, we'll be using the DRB3 since we are using a Jeep in our example. However, this is a straightforward procedure and any enhanced scan tool will do just fine.